Hi, in tutorial 4, we will learn more on applications of differentiation in economics and business. Today, in this lesson, we would like to learn about revenue function and also finding the average revenue and marginal revenue. If Px is a price function, the total revenue function is just multiplying that price function with the number of quantity that the company has sold. This is like the total pendapatan of that company, okay, the total revenue that the company will receive after they have sold X unit of products. What about the average revenue? Remember, the word average refers to this bar, and then what is the function that we want to average? It's the revenue function, so it's R bar X. So to find it, the formula is just the revenue function divided with the total number of units being sold. What about the marginal revenue? Whenever you see the word marginal, this refers to the prime, and what's the function? It's the revenue function. Remember, our prime simply means it's the derivative of the function revenue. So to find the marginal revenue, we have to differentiate that revenue function. What about marginal average revenue? Here we have marginal word, so there will be a prime there. And what's the function? It's the average revenue function. The average revenue function is just R bar function. So this means we have to differentiate the R bar function to find the marginal average revenue. Please refer to the previous tutorial. The same concept applies whenever you see the word average and marginal. Marginal revenue is the extra revenue from an extra unit sold at a number of units. From the previous example discussed in tutorial 3, the handphone company, let's say the handphone company has produced 1,000 units, and we would like to know what is the marginal revenue if the company has sold 1,000 units of handphones. So marginal revenue here means that we want to know what is the extra revenue from an extra unit sold. So if we have sold 1,001 units of handphones, what will be that extra revenue obtained? That is the marginal revenue. Try to solve example 1 after you have listened to my explanation of example 2. Now, example 2. The demand function for a product is as given. The demand function here refers to the price function. That's why it's labeled as Px. Now, question A wants us to find the revenue function. What is the formula of revenue function? Remember, to find the total revenue, is just the number of units being sold, X, multiplied with the price of that product. So that will be the total revenue for that company. B, average revenue function. We see the word average. Remember, that's the bar. And what's the function? It's revenue function. So when there is a bar, refers that we have a division, and then over the X, what is the function on top? Is the revenue function. So divide revenue function with X. Next, we have marginal revenue function. See the word marginal? It means that there's a prime. What's the function? Is the revenue function. So R prime X. R prime means we have to differentiate d over dx, the function of revenue, Rx. Now, to find the marginal average revenue function, this is the prime. But what do you have to prime? Average revenue function. And average revenue function is just R bar. So this means we have to differentiate the R bar function to find the marginal average revenue function. E, finding the marginal revenue when X is 100. So this simply means we have to use the information that we have obtained in C, which is the marginal revenue function, R prime, but substitute the X, 100, into this X. So R prime 100, and finding the value. Now, first question is finding the revenue function. The formula is x times the price function. So just multiply x with each of the function. So just multiply x with the px function. Expand, and you get 800x minus 0.2x squared. B question. Finding the average revenue function. So the formula is just revenue divided with x. The revenue function is obtained in A and just divide it with x. Divide each of the term with x. And you get 800 minus 0.2x. Do you notice that it's the same as the price function? That's because we divide with x. So according to this formula, if we bring x to the left side, which is also the average revenue, that's why it's equal to the price function. Next question, C, finding the marginal revenue function. To find the marginal revenue function is our prime x, so we have to differentiate that revenue function, substitute the revenue function, and just differentiate. You get 800 minus 0.4x. Question D is finding the marginal average revenue function. So it's just differentiating the average revenue. Write your average revenue function obtained in B, 800 minus 0.2x, and then you get negative 0.2. Question E wants you to find the marginal revenue when x is 100. So just use the marginal revenue function obtained in C and then just substitute 100 inside the x. And you get 760 ringgit. Please don't forget to write your units because the question mentioned that the unit is in terms of ringgit. If you don't write the unit, then your answer is wrong. Now try out example 3 and also example 4. Thank you for watching.